All right, so this right here is a video about the detachment, or the group that was before us. They went on deployment, and this is them getting ready. You could see the families. This is our warehouse here. This is our warehouse before it was kind of like upgraded with decorations a little bit. We put a flag up there anyway. Yeah, so these guys have been working for a year and a half. They're ready to rock and roll. This is always a sad day. This is always really hard for the ladies because, whether they have kids or whatever, it's their burden now. So half the work has been put on them, and they have to rock and roll. So you're going to see the whole thing here. Making sure everything's on the boats, that's a big thing. Making sure you have everything. If you forget something at the command and you go on deployment, it could be months till a part or, I don't know, something that you need can get to your ship. So you got to quadruple check everything that's going out with you, including your own personal stuff. I would recommend lots of socks, lots of undies. You're going to be wearing coveralls on a Navy ship for the most part, so you can wear those t-shirts as well. Bring tons of t-shirts, socks, but the coveralls will be your primary work attire while you're on deployment. So you can wear that 3 or 4 days, 2 or 3 days. And of course, you got 2 or 3 pairs of those, so you can interchange them. And there's laundry, but you can never have too many pairs of undies, especially out there. With all the food, you crap your pants. Throw them over the side. New pair. This is one of our females. I didn't show females very much in my videos. I guess it's a good time to explain that. I usually don't put females in my videos because it usually attracts a bunch of ridiculous and horny comments, and I don't like it. And I don't want to, I don't want them to be sitting there flipping through these comments, and these assholes are making stupid comments. So I usually don't put them in. And if I do put them in, and the comments get ridiculous, I'll just take off the comments. But it's like nobody says anything sexually about my videos until a girl comes in. A lot of these girls are moms now, and they get to look back at this footage and think, man, that was pretty cool. And their kids are going to be like, man, our grandma was badass. This is Captain Julie Grunwell. She was a heck of a captain, and she made it really easy for us. If we wanted to go train, we'd do a brief, go train. And there was less red tape with her, which is really cool. And yeah, so they're all getting ready. They're all smiles right now. But then it's go time. It's like, okay, it's time. We have everything. We're locked in. Here's what we got to do. Got our waters, and now it's time to say goodbye to the families. And it's always the worst time, because it's not like, oh, you're gonna go die out there. It's like you're gonna be gone for 6 months. I got the kids. I got double the amount of work, and when you come back, it's gonna be, who knows what your mind's gonna be like, and then who knows what kind of father you're gonna be. I just hate this footage, man. I really hate it because it's just sad to see. I grew up with a couple of kids that their parents were professional baseball players. Tucson baseball community, it's not that different. But the kids, they didn't have their dads around for 6 months at a time. They'd see them sporadically. And there was usually behavioral problems with those major league kids. It's very similar with these military kids. A lot of the kids have some emotional issues. I don't know if that's indicative, or I don't know if that's just a coincidence or what, but yeah, there's a lot of emotional issues. The first few years of these kids' lives, they're going to be, seeing their daddy half the time. Out of 7 years, not nearly as much time as you would see if you were just like a regular guy working a regular job. So you're going to be away from your family quite a bit. And that's something that pissed me off when I was in the military. Is like, we would be at home and in port, we'd get our work done at noon. And then they'd make us sit around all day until it was like, 3 to 5. We'd get there at 7. We're mustering at 7, and then we're leaving from 3 to 5. Just to keep us there those extra hours just for eyewash, It pissed me off so much, man. So I'd be sitting there thinking like I could be with my dog right now, and I could be at home cooking or something, and yeah, so on deployment, you're constantly outside the wire. You're constantly rocking and rolling. If you added up all the hours you're actually working, it's way under minimum wage. So I wish that Navy commands would start kind of, when sailors are out home from deployment, noon is enough. Get your work done. For the quartermasters, it was plenty. Get your work done 7 to noon, get your workout in, roll out. Yeah, Assaultcraft Unit 1 didn't have much hoopla when it came to us deploying. It was, it's like a festival with some of these big ships, lots of people in the pier, music, and, there's vendors giving out food, stuff like that. But with us, it was just like, well, see you later. Coronado, California. You see the Coronado Bridge off to the right. It's a beautiful place. Heck of a place to work. Now, on my duty days, my job would be to go to these LCUs, which is the landing crafts behind here, and I would go check their readings, see if they're floating, or see if they're not leaking any oil, whatever. You check outside of the boat to see if they're leaking oil. You just make sure all the levels are where they're supposed to be. You learn that real quick. It's not hard at all. And you have a checklist. So you go to each one. I don't know how many we had. 10 of those landing craft. You see this big landing craft there, and you go through the offices and stuff. You just make your rounds, making sure nothing's messed up. The weird part about this command was sometimes we'd find a fisherman like way in next to the, they would come through by these piers past the LCUs, and I found one time, and I was about to light this guy up. He was right there. I mean, not light him up, but maybe kick him a couple times. Thank you so much for watching. I think it's time to subscribe, I've been posting this kick-ass content for so long. I think it's time. You want to see some American firepower and muscle every single day? I got you. This is Benny Winslow signing off.